Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, the only podcast that's happy to be awake at 5 a.m. on a Friday, Saturday, Monday, whatever day it is. It is the season that we have games pretty much every day of the week, which is amazing. Joining us back from IR, and we've replaced, unfortunately, Danny is back on IR, but on the brown couch in the studio at Charlie Pick. How are you, mate?
I'm really well. But it's that time of season, isn't it? Everyone's a bit dinged up.
Yes.
You put together the best team you can. It's next man up. That's the time of season that it is. And December is crunch time in football and in life, I think.
Yes.
Anyone scrambling to remember all the Christmas presents that they need to get at the moment. But yeah, thinking very much of Danny, not so much because of his injury.
Got a bit of bird flu at the moment.
He's got very retro. But really thinking of Danny, not so much for his injury, but because he'll still be haunted by that Chargers game. I've watched that back quite a bit, and I could not imagine a more infuriating game to watch as a fan. And I'm a Bills fan. I've seen us lose games that we should not lose this year and for many years, but that was wild stuff. So Danny, you're at home sick, having a lem sip, listening to this. I feel you, man.
You were, getting paid to do other things at the time, but I was messaging Danny live, and he was not a happy camper during. And it wasn't until afterwards, and we probably should have brought it up on the show. Jalen Hurts is my quarterback fantasy quarterback to lose -4, and I reckon I lost by 2 or 3, and he lost -4 on one play.
Wild.
So, I would have been a lot more angry if I had remembered that point.
But to have an interception and a fumble on one play.
I think we've confirmed the only person
ever in
only
history.
quarterback ever that's ever done it.
It's the count. Like there was a lot of talk last year when Josh was the first quarterback to get a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown on the same touchdown.
Yep.
I know which one of those records I would rather have in the book. Wild.
Actually, speaking of people, and I just want to touch on this because I know you hate the man. Aaron Rodgers became the second oldest man to ever have catch a receiving pass from himself. I think he's the only one ever done that.
Yeah.
Behind Jerry Rice, which was at 42 years old or something like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's fine.
You hate the man, but he's still bragging records.
That's right. Absolutely. I think all people deserve some kind of prize when they retire, some kind of gift, and he can have that. A new line in the stat book there for the old man of football. Or not really the old man of football this week.
That is a perfect segue. We brought it up, Danny and I, that Philip Rivers has been. We thought it was just a throwaway line that they brought him into the building, and we talked about locker room guys a lot lately. He has passed, and he's been signed to the practice squad. I don't know the official when he's going to get a game. If it could be as early this week, we're not 100% sure. But 44 years old, a grandfather. That's going to be...
He's actually a grandfather.
Yeah, father of, I want to say 11. I think he has 11 kids.
Where does he sit in the record books then with Tyreek Hill? Are they the most prolific breeders in the NFL
He was
history?
definitely pre-2020, and then
Tyrik's taken it since then.
Trying to take it since then. But I think he's come back, and I saw during the week that he's sitting 9th, about 200 yards ahead of Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford's gaining on him very, very quickly. And he thought, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit harder for you to catch my passing yards record.
He says Stafford's got to go at least one more season.
He said, yeah, you got to go.
Although something tells me that Rams are going to have a few more postseason games than the Colts. But it's an interesting decision by the Colts and where they're at. I was kind of hoping for another entry in the record books of just somehow Joe Flacco playing for another team this season. Just how many teams can he be signed to in a season? But can it work?
Well,
that's a question. They've got such a strong running game. Their defense, when it's working, is like they've got a solid defense. They play good complementary football.
They've got some great wide receivers and tight ends.
They do. Can he manage the game well enough? And can it, like he's obviously like in his day, he knew how to manage a game. He knew how to run an offense. It's not the craziest idea, but it is a real shame for the Colts from the start of their season. They look like the benchmark for the whole NFL, to where they are now it's a tragedy for the Colts.
Yeah, it's definitely a slide. They haven't stopped or jumped off that slide yet. The only question I have is, you go to a 44-year-old quarterback. I think him and Steichen have a bit of history, so that's a good thing.
I was going to say good history or bad history?
No, good history. Good. Yeah, good history. But makes you think maybe it's just because he's a bit too polarising. But Cam Newton, 36 years old, still out there, still says every week, I'm want to play. Can't get a gig, but a 44-year-old Philip Rivers can. That's an interesting... I would never have contemplated Cam Newton. No, neither have I. Until I saw his head pop up, I was like, he makes a good point.
Yeah, but he can say that he's ready to play now. He says a lot of things.
Yes.
Not all of them tethered to reality. And I would say that given that, like, Cam Newton's retirement, you would say, was younger than it was sooner than it should have been because of the way he played and the way his body broke down. That wasn't the case with Philip. Philip Rivers played a much longer career.
Yes.
So I don't know.
It's interesting though.
I feel we'd have another injured quarterback at the Colts if Cam Newton took the field. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Colin Kaepernick's been fit.
Wow, I
am surprised. I'm surprised no one has brought up Kaepernick. Like, it's always surprised me that no one has taken that risk. Given some of
the risk is what it's.
But that's it. But it's the risk wasn't really about his play. It's
no, not at all.
Perception and being blackballed by the NFL.
As a Packers man, I was happy he was out. He dominated us a few times.
Yeah. So it's funny. There should be some kind of old man waivers. Fitzmagic. I mean.
Yeah, bring it back. Fitz, did he ever play for the Colts? Was that one of his 14 teams?
Did he play for? Play for Miami. Play for.
Oh no, you'll be sitting here for a while.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
we'll be sitting here for a while. But he's one of the few people that I reckon. He's one of the to me, he's one of those quarterbacks that you could drop in and he'll do it for a game or two. Like he'll get you a game or two, and he'll get you a win you shouldn't win.
Yeah.
Even now, he could step off the commentary bench. Like he'll be at the desk before the game. He could walk in and he could give it a go.
He'll be playing. And they don't make it any easier if Rivers does start this week. They've got the Seahawks, which one of only a few teams that offense, defense, special teams seems to be firing pretty consistently.
That would seem to me like a ripe opportunity for Philip Rivers to be injured. I mean, that defense is no joke. That's a tough game, but that's going to be tough for whoever steps into that.
But it's like Tyler Warren at the moment. If it's not him, he's the fourth stringer.
Wow.
They have to kind of push him along. It has to be Philip Rivers.
I think they have to. It didn't seem that was out of the question.
No.
But that's a tough first day back on the job.
I would be. I know you're not, but as a gambling man, I'd be putting a lot of money on Jonathan Taylor because I reckon it'd just be Philip. Just look at it. Yep. Give it to him.
Yeah.
Give it to Philip.
They may score 0 points, but Taylor could run for 250 yards. It's entirely possible.
35 rushes. Or it'd just be over the top, give it to him, yeah. So
makes me very glad that I've got him in 2 of my 4 fantasy teams.
Yeah. A question that got posed, not to me, but on the internet this week, and I thought it was a very interesting... When I first read it, I was like, you kidding me, are you? But then the more I thought about it, I think it's a very valid question at the moment, and one that'll definitely spark a bit of conversation is, now the way that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going, is he out of the GOAT conversation?
That's a controversial prospect. So let's look at it. We're saying that because I think that conversation starts because he lost in a Super Bowl last year and convincingly. It wasn't close. It wasn't like when he lost to Brady, which was a competitive Super Bowl. So there was a question of the invincibility of Patrick Mahomes really came into question as of the Super Bowl last year. And the way it's gone this season, a really bad start on the offense. For the season, they came good for a short spell, but the wheels have fallen off and they haven't been able to maintain that momentum. it's pretty hard to say he's out of the GOAT conversation. I know because obviously the only other real GOAT that there is Brady.
Yeah.
And it will be hard. It's not impossible. It's hard for anyone to match his rings and his achievements.
Mahomes was the only one who was really on the way to.
Yeah, only one with a chance. But the thing about Brady is we have the benefit of looking back at a long career and he won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, but they missed out on the playoffs a number of years and there were years where they weren't the best team in football and there were years where they didn't go to the Super Bowl and win. And we haven't written Brady off as not being good enough because there were seasons when he didn't win Super Bowls. And there are seasons that Jordan didn't win championships in the NBA, but he's still
It was only because he retired or he went and played baseball, though.
That's right. He should have stuck with the baseball. He was really coming good.
Yeah.
But so I think it's too early to write him off. That's what I reckon. But what's the counter argument? Is the counter argument that it's not going well this season, but he has everything he needs to go well?
Well, that was, like I said, when I first read it, I was like, you kidding me? Like, he's had one bad season, but then what I was reading was that Tom Brady never had, like, it's always gone around, he never had a top 10 defense or never top 5 defense. You know, he always kind of outplayed the opposition defense more than what, you know, his defenses was winning games. Definitely had some good players.
I mean, I understand that may be a statistical or a list of how many Hall of Famers question.
Correct, yeah.
Right? But I would also say
He had some great players.
Bill Belichick was the coach of that defense, right?
But he doesn't play, though.
No, he didn't play. But I remember the when they beat, was it the year that they beat the Rams?
Yeah.
Right. And they had
7-3,
played zone defense the entire year. And in the 2 weeks they had to prepare for the Super Bowl, they switched to man defense and the Rams had no idea what to do. Just as a concept.
But does that change you and make you a top 5 defense because you have a good coach that can, like a Hall of Fame coach, obviously, that can twist things around?
Well, if you've got...
That's like saying you're a passing offense and then I'm going to run it against you. That's exact...
No, but that means your offense was capable of doing what it needed to do to win.
Does that make me a top 5 offense?
I think
it does,
you're in the history books and you beat the greatest show on turf. I think it makes you... Like, if you beat the greatest show on turf, the invincible offense of that year, and you
was
change...
that the Cooper Cup year, or did he have the triple? Or was that the year they won it?
That was the year they won it.
Yeah.
But that year that they beat the greatest show on turf, I'm pretty sure I've got this right. When they beat that Rams team,
they put up 50 against Mahomes. That way.
Yeah, but it's like that. Just think about it. You beat the best offense in the league, and you did it playing a scheme you really started thinking up 2 weeks before. Yeah, that makes you I don't care about, in the words of Coach McVay, statistics are for losers, right? It doesn't matter how many Hall of Famers are ranked. That means you've got a defense that wins games for you. Yeah. And I think you would say that the Patriots had a defense that won games for them.
I thought that.
But Mahomes has a defense that wins games for him.
Correct. And he's still got Travis Kelce. He's still got 2 or 3 top line, top 10, top 15 wide receivers. Like you said, his defense is elite. He's got a Hall of Fame head coach still. So
the best, you would say the best offensive coach in the league. I think you could say that.
Not Shane Steichen. Spags still got Spags.
Yeah, and Spags is probably the best DC in the his resume as a DC is about as good as it gets. You say you've got Rice and you've got Worthy, who would be wide receiver 1 on pretty much any team in the league, except maybe the Bengals or the Rams this year. But then you've got Tyquan Thornton, right, who is the discovery of the year, is their wide receiver 3 or 4? Yeah. He's got weapons to throw to.
And that's why reading it, I was like, it's got a little bit more, I read it straight away, I was like, nah. But then it had more weight to it than I gave it credit to start with. And you're like, I don't like saying that Tom Brady was out and out, because there's guys pre my era that were obviously elite as well that I didn't get to, unfortunately, to watch. But from what I saw and the football that I've watched, he's standalone. Mahomes is the only one who's catching him, and it just feels like this year and the Super Bowl last year kind of just puts him back a couple of steps.
Oh, absolutely. And there's 2 things there. If your life depended on it, like you were facing execution and one quarterback had to win a game for you, it's Tom Brady. He's a psychopath. And he's the right type of psychopath that will win games no matter what. Like he is, he has a winning mentality that no one else has ever matched, and that is true. But I think it's a great lesson for everyone. It's like, yeah, Mahomes is the most successful quarterback in the current crop of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Until he surpasses Brady, let's not have GOAT conversations. Yeah. When he retires, let's talk about whether he's the GOAT. But if he gets 8 rings while he's still playing, or he gets 7, yeah, he's the GOAT, right? Or he's equal GOAT. Yeah. It's as simple as that, because
those statistics are for losers.
Statistics are for losers. No, but rings are tangible, right? Yeah. And it's funny, the whole NFL, and it's actually what makes it such a beautiful sport, is that winning the Super Bowl is all it is about. Mm. Like Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen don't actually give a shit how many MVPs they win. That's for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
No one else gives a shit. Like none of the quarterbacks give a shit if they're not winning a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And that's what's beautiful about it. And that's how you measure this. Mm. Because
which we can't until it's game over.
That's exactly right. But let's say there is a quarterback. I mean, for example, if Josh Allen continues his career exactly as it is now, which means statistically he will be so beyond any other quarterback in history, but win 0 Super Bowls. Is he the greatest quarterback to play the game? No, he's not. He hasn't won the Super Bowls. And this is he's breaking records every single week.
Yeah.
So I think
hasn't caught a pass when he's 42 yet, though. So
that's exactly right. I have a feeling he has no intention of still playing football when he's 42. That's my suspicion. Yeah. But I will say,
he'll make all the money before then.
Yeah, it's you got to be the man, you got to beat the man. So until you catch Brady, no one is the GOAT. Yeah. Simple as that.
Speaking of beating the man, the Chargers have the chance this week to beat Mahomes. And realistically, I called it the other day. The AFC's set. They're not changing. This could end them. This could put them, because they're, I think, the 10th seed at the moment, the Chiefs. So this loss here could well and truly. That's right. 4 weeks to go.
I don't like to go to the laptop mid podcast, but I did. I'm
all about the stats.
I had the standings here, and let's give you the win. Let's see, AFC Chiefs. If they lose this week to the Chargers, are less than 1% chance of making the playoffs, and I have a feeling it's 0. But out of courtesy, to Mahomes, they keep the algorithm at less than 1%.
What's the 7th seed at the moment? We know
7th seed. See, the 7th seed is the Texans.
Yeah. What's their record?
The Texans are 8-5, and the Chiefs are 6-7.
So they'll be 3 games behind with 3 games left.
Yeah, and it's possible that they win out.
That's a 1%.
But the Texans are playing Arizona this week. Now, the Texans are a defense that can shut down literally anyone, and Arizona are an offense that love getting shut down.
They can shut down themselves.
Yeah, that's right. They need no help.
Yeah.
So I think that is it's an insane proposition to suggest that the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs if they lose to the Chargers, and the Chargers if the Chargers lose, they remain a 64% chance of making the playoffs. That's how far they are ahead, because they're at 9-4. That's how far ahead of the Chiefs are in their own division. So I think it is all over. Obviously, if the Chargers beat the Chiefs, and you would say coming off the win that the Chargers had, they might be like I saw. Who's the quarterback? Big guy.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, to Herbert. I saw Herbert interviewed after the game, and he's like, this team never give up. They can win anything and all of that. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but no one deserved to win that game. Yeah. So it's like, it's okay, Chargers. You beat the Eagles.
He looks surprised at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, great. They got it. Look at this. We won. He's thrown it 4th interception.
So I do think that that's a pretty even game to me.
Yeah, it's very the more I think about it, it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game. The Chiefs, one thing is when their backs to the wall, they do have a winning mentality, but they've had their backs to the wall the last few weeks, and that's not, it's not been there. So I'm not. It's hard to write them off, but I expect them to lose this week, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And that, I think, is a great reminder to everyone that dynasties end. And whether or not the Chiefs are what the Patriots were, is what they do then. Because they've got a lot of decisions to make about big contracts that they've got, really good players that they would need to shed if they're going to do a mini rebuild. Do they see it as a mini rebuild, or do they think they've got the right team? They just had the wrong. They just had the wrong plan, had the wrong season.
Yeah, and a couple of injuries. We do have to admit they did have a couple of injuries, but
I'm sorry, everyone's got a couple of injuries. Actually, everyone except except the Patriots and Broncos don't feel like they've gone in. Like like the two hottest teams in the AFC have had the most charmed run injury wise of everyone.
That's a great little segue into. There's 3 teams that can clinch this week. They can clinch playoffs. And when I was looking, the 3 games are going to be elite games. So the first team that can clinch is on the NFC side. It's the Rams. Rams-Lions. Goff-Stafford. This is just picturesque, I think. They've done it well. We keep mentioning the schedule makers. They've gone 3 weeks, 4 weeks out. We're going to put these guys because they're going to be pretty tight around then. And this game is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great game. And the thing is, in the last couple of weeks alone, you've seen the best and the worst of these two teams. You've seen when they get it together, they can score quickly. Like they've got offenses that can put on points really quickly. But they've also got flaws. They've also got, some gaps in it. Like when their offense sputters, they're in trouble. And they've also got some gaps on defense. And that, I just think it spells a very good game. You got 2 aggressive coaches and 2 quarterbacks. I mean, and the great story about this is it is still, in my experience of loving football, the only trade where both teams won the trade. Stafford and Goff trade is just one of the absolute.
It's a mutual handshake. Well done.
Such a great, it's an old rule of showbiz that if you can get the deal where both people win, then that's what you should do. And that's what they managed to do. They love playing each other. There is an animosity between, it's not like Goff he doesn't really hate the Rams for the fact that he ended up in Detroit, because he got to be at a place that appreciated him and he's gotten to play great football.
Yeah.
And Stafford, I mean, he was just keen to get out of Detroit, so he doesn't resent them at all. Like, it's going to be a great game. Yeah. And that's, I still think though, you would have to say that the Rams are just more consistent. They're more balanced as a team, and they are one of those teams that nobody really wants to play.
No. I'm stuck with this one. My head says the Rams, they're going to be good enough. The defense, I think you've seen in recent weeks that a good defense will shut down the Lions and hold them, and they can't score enough to win. My heart though is torn in 2. Obviously, NFC North would love to see the Lions not make it. Still holding out hope that the Packers can get the number 1 seed.
Yes.
They kind of need the Lions to win to help out to get the Rams. So I'm really caught. Like, head says Rams, heart is very much 50-50 though.
Wow. And that all comes down to where you think the Packers are going to end up on the run home.
We'll win out. Don't worry about that. I was very. I don't know how much you didn't at the very end of our last podcast. I don't know if you made it that far. Hopefully you did. I was very subdued and just said, "Look, mate. Well, I'll leave it for today." But that's the next game. Actually, perfect. A little segue. Broncos Packers. The Broncos are the next team that can clinch. My Packers have been playing some bloody good football, mate.
Yeah, this is really interesting because both red hot teams. And as I said, the Broncos are one of those teams that it feels like they haven't been bitten by the injury bug as badly as everyone else. Packers have had their fair share of injuries, but they've had people coming back and at the right time. And we always say it, it's about December football and what the football that you're playing right now. I think this could be a week where the Broncos get found out a bit. I think that's real potential. I think I remember last year they had a red hot season and then they came up against the Bills in wildcard and it was a lesson in experienced playoff football.
Yep.
This is really, they should be playing playoff standard football this week, and we'll find out if the Broncos are mature enough or they're still, they're still figuring themselves out. They've got a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to challenge, you know, what the Packers are doing on offense. That feels like a pretty even battle. But I do feel like the Packers defense is just a bit more scary than the Broncos offense.
I do feel their defense is very bend, don't break. Like, they can give up a lot, but scoring-wise, you don't get into the end zone. You have to settle for field goals. That's the kind of feel that I get from their defense. But a lot of their wins, like they've 10 in a row now, which, you know, is huge. Only the Patriots have the same. I think it was 8. 8 of those 10 have been by one score or less, like 3 or less. So does it feel like when you, like, the Patriots, on the other hand, 6 or 7 have been not blowouts, but comfortable enough wins. Does it feel like, not fake, but like, is their luck due to run out almost?
Well, yeah, it depends how you see
like
one-score games.
Yeah.
Because does that mean under pressure they know how to do what you have to do to win, or does it mean that they played down to their opposition, or they weren't actually they were only one score better than people they beat? Grain of salt though with the Patriots, because and it's not rigged. It's just because there's an equation that sets the schedule. But the Patriots have the easiest schedule of any of the top teams this year. They've been very fortunate with that, because the Broncos were a playoff team last year and the Patriots were in the cellar.
Yep.
So
I have the same thing about the Bears. I remember about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They finished 3rd or 4th. They have the easier run. That's why they were 5 in a row. And I feel like we only beat them by a touchdown, but they were very found out in a lot of ways against the Packers.
I think the score was very forgiving in that game.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, they played well. They are a much better team than they have been in the past. But a stat that I saw come up, and it just kind of really rams home the Packers-Bears rivalry. So Jordan Love's now played the Bears 5 times. He's 4-1. Do you know the last Bears starter that had 4 wins against the Packers?
The last Bears starter
that has 4 wins combined, not in a row.
Like, are we going back to like the 85 Bears or something here?
Not far off.
Yeah, really. Like
93 Bears. Jim Harbaugh was. 93.
Wow.
Jim Harbaugh was the last Bears.
He's nearly as old as Aaron Rodgers.
He's the last quarterback that had 4 wins against the Packers.
Wow,
as a starting quarterback.
That's a great stat. I mean, I do think, like, objectively, we're coming into, as uncomfortable as this is for you, and there's a similar thing going on in the AFC East that we'll talk about in a minute, but we're coming into an era where you've got a really competitive division with the Packers, and the Bears seem, it's not a sugar hit of a season. It seems like they've built a program that's going to compete. That's good. That's actually, deep down, it's good for the Packers and it's good for football to have that happening.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time, obviously, as we're saying, since the Bears have been competitive.
I think it was 2015 or something like that. They won the division and went off NFC championship, I reckon. So, 10 years later, there's a chance. But, yeah, I'm still not sold on them a little bit. The great win against the Eagles, but then
Eagles?
does that not look... Because that was the one I said, they're legit. Going into Link is definitely a really good win. But the Eagles are starting to be found out a little bit as well. So does that kind of sour their win a little bit? So and then the fact that we were able to control the game and win, not comfortably, but it was a great win on the very last play.
I'm really enjoying our spin-off Packers podcast.
It is great.
Can't wait to get to our spin-off Bills one in a moment. But what I will say is I trust the Packers more. And it's interesting. I think...
I'm definitely nervous about this game.
Yeah.
100%.
But to me, it's like, I think it's one of those things that you've got some real experience on the, for a team that's actually quite young, like the Packers, you've actually got some real leaders there. Obviously, Micah Parsons on the defense is like, there is something about someone with that experience who's been through as much as that helps galvanize that defense, and you see it. And I think things like that are going to make a difference. So I think the Packers have got it. Yeah,
I'm quietly confident, which is I'll start to crow a little bit when maybe next Monday or Tuesday when we get the job done. The last one, you're right, is the Patriots. They can get the clinching, and it's perfect that it's against your Bills. It's a rivalry set in stone. Like it's going to be a great matchup. it's a divisional game, which we probably should have said earlier against the Chiefs. That's the one thing about Chiefs-Chargers, divisional game. We always say it's different.
Always a bit weird.
So it's the only thing that's a little bit of a shame is at 5 a.m. You're going to be in a very early start.
It is an early start. I'm always happy for it because my stress is over by the end of breakfast.
Yeah,
by the time I'm dropping...
I know if I'm angry or I'm not.
Yeah, normally I'm dropping the kids off at school and it's like the last 2 minutes and hopefully we're doing like victory formation and kneeling it, But this shapes up to be a really great game for a whole lot of reasons. The Patriots beat the Bills earlier in the season. A lot was made of it, and the Patriots have had a great season since then, and the Bills have been up and down. But the Patriots beat the Bills by a field goal, and the Bills were playing well below themselves. The Bills are obviously highly motivated. If they win out from here, if they beat the Patriots and then win out, there is a chance they actually snatch the division that they don't deserve from the Patriots. Obviously, the Patriots conceal it now. But I would say that this shapes up as an utterly even contest. And for all the talk that Drake May is the new Josh Allen, I haven't seen Drake May against a behemoth, down or even, put it on his own back and have to get it done. As we've said,
hasn't had to yet.
That's exactly right. But as we've said, softer schedule, more comfortable wins. This is not that. And the Bills, like they were down by 10 with 8 minutes to go again, and there was nothing about them that said that they feared that they were going to lose that game. And so this is just going to be a great game of football. I think the Bills are 1.5 point favourites heading into Gillette.
Away dog, or home dogs for the Patriots,
which is probably Las Vegas trying to get people to roll the dice. It's a
pick 'em game when it's 1.5.
Yeah, it really is. Credit to the Patriots, like they're in a position no one expected, and they, it's their division to lose at the moment. But I do think in December, Gillette's cold. It's like Orchard Park. It's going to be a snow game possibly. Yeah. I think it shapes up as a great opportunity for the Bills, and it's one of those things that even if the Patriots manage to hold on to the division, I think it'll be one of those games that if the Bills manage to get this psychologically, it's going to be a big deal, and it then puts the rest of the AFC on notice that despite a few bad losses against teams like the Dolphins and shit, that you don't want to be playing the Bills.
You got a lot of Dolphin haters, I hope you know that.
Yeah,
like calling Dolphins and shit.
Well,
it's elite.
I mean, I stand by it. Sorry. Is anyone arguing that they're an underrated team in the NFL? I don't think so.
Yeah, they might. Hit us up. I think the fact that they're underdogs at home, Vrabel has got on the board with a big picture, like 1.5, whatever he's got up there, like really lends into a Mike Vrabel kind of game, I think. So it's going to be a cracking. If it's a snow game, I don't think that takes away from it either. You're both very snow game prepared, where you get like, I hate to say it again, but last week it was all about Tua playing in the snow and how bad he is in the snow, blah, blah. Played well, got the win, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that out of either team.
No.
The snow just makes it look better.
No, absolutely. I think what I'd say is the Bills have had more injuries than the Patriots. It's objectively true. But there are key pieces coming out. There's a chance Joey Bosa comes back. Our pass rush has been
healthy at the right time.
Healthy at the right time. Our pass rush has been non-existent, in the last few weeks. The other thing that's going on in our defense is Christian Benford, who last year statistically was like the third best cornerback in the league. And he had a bit of an up and down start to the season, but he had, the interception of Burrow last week, interception the week before. He played on Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase only had 2 targets for the whole game. And I think it was something like Christian Benford gave up something like 20 yards to Jamar Chase. And that's why Higgins had such a good game. It's like Jamar Chase was completely covered. So I think our secondary is starting to really function well. Shaq Lawson at linebacker instead of Terrell Bernard could be coming back from his injury, but I think Shaq Lawson at linebacker is playing top-level football and galvanising that. I think the Patriots are going to face a different defence to the one that they faced last time.
It's going to be a cracking game. So if they're going to clinch the playoffs, they're going to earn it, which is huge.
Absolutely.
So before I get on to my betting segment, our betting segment, mine and Danny's, I'm going to put you on a little bit of out of nowhere, the AFC. I'll do the NFC because I've already got it in my mind. What's the one team out of the wildcard teams of the AFC that you would not want to face? We're going to say the Bills make it in the top 4. Who's the wild card you don't want to face?
Houston Texans.
Bang.
Houston Texans for 2 reasons.
They can still win their division.
They can still win their division, but like it's
Jags clinched.
Yeah, I think the Jags are obviously likely to do it, but their defense is terrifying. They play, they play a kind of brutal defensive football that everyone is scared of. And their offense has been, inconsistent is way too kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been horrible, and they've had some good games, but the defense is getting them there. But there's also no tape on their offense playing well, and with all their injuries and just
still
shitness.
can. We know that he can from the past.
That's right. I don't believe in CJ Stroud as much as everyone did at the end of his first season. I kind of never did as much. But they could still surprise you because you don't know what they're going to do, and their defense can shut you down. And there will be teams that feel like they have momentum and are looking good. Let's say the Broncos win out and they're all high flying and great, and they will not. They will absolutely, they'll come up against the Texans and struggle. Okay, how about the NFC?
So the NFC, I think it comes ahead of, and it's funnily enough, like a special mention to the 49ers. I think if they can make it, however the fuck they make it, they're going to be dangerous. I'm presuming the Rams hold their number 1 spot. If you come up against the Seahawks, that's going to be...
Yeah.
JSN is lightning. I think he might have fallen off with a bit of a quiet game last week, but he's on track to beat Megatron's single season yard record within the 16 games, which is even better. Sam Darnold has just settled in. I think their defense is elite. They're going to be the 5 seed if they're not 1 seed.
Yeah,
they are going to be dangerous to come against, and I don't think they're going to be the Vikings of last year that are playing for the 1 seed, finish 5, and knock straight out. I reckon whoever plays them as the 4 seed, which is probably going to be Tampa if they can hold on, or Carolina, you don't want to come up against it.
Yeah, and I would go one step further to say of all the teams in the whole NFC, they are the team I think that can go on the road and go into anyone's house and mess them up.
Yep. Yeah, not the Packers though, but anyway, that's fine.
Meh.
We're outside of the whole NFC. That's all we're out of. Massive week 15, mate. I thank you for coming back off the bench.
Mate, great to be back.
All ailments all right?
A little bit nicked up. You can hear the throats coming back. Yeah. But no, great to be back. And this is going to be a great round. It's going to be so much fun to see how it works out.
And I'll see you on Tuesday, probably most likely.
Yes. Go Bills.
Yes. Nice. It is time now for my First Down Friday and our Bet of the Week, brought to you by our good friends at Unibet. Unfortunately, Danny does not join me today. He's off on IR. But I'll bring you my First Down Friday. We've got the Bucks playing on Friday. I'm picking them at the line. They've had a rough couple of weeks, so I'm going them at the line and Baker Mayfield 2+ touchdowns. I'll put it on the screen exactly what it's paying. It'll be about $250 odd, I reckon. It's great value and it's winning every day of the week. Make sure you follow us on Unibet and our featured markets. We've got our 1K club, got up again last week. We're 5 from 7, I reckon. It's a bet that you've got to get around. We've got our early market touchdowns, our late day touchdowns. We're going to put in some receptions for wide receivers. It's just so many markets up there on the featured market. Get around it. It's going to be an amazing week 15, and go Pack Go.